We're going to use OSI to create an open house flyer very quickly for this listing in Concord. I'm looking at Realtor.com, but you can use whatever MLS-linked site you happen to like. First, you'll save a photo of the property. This exterior shot will work just fine. Right-click on the image, select Save Image As, and save the image someplace where you know you'll be able to find it. I'll just put this on my desktop. Give it a name. We're going to call this Kansas, because that's the name of the street. Save. Next, scroll down to the description of the property. That's under Property Details, and in almost every case you're going to have to expand it. We're going to come back to that section of the website later, but now we're going to go over to the OSI website. I've already logged in. You'll have to go through your own login process. Next, we'll click on Open House Flyers, and we'll create a new flyer from scratch. We're going to work from top to bottom with only one exception on this. We'll start with the flyer summary. So with basic summary, we're going to edit. We have a purchase price of $670. The area is Concord. This really only is a factor when you have FHA scenarios. And under taxes, OSI will automatically calculate the taxes based on 1.25%, but if you're in an area with different taxes, this is where you would enter it. Apply and continue. Property type. This is a single family, but this is where you would find other types of properties you would select. If there are HOA dues, you'd enter them here. Apply and continue. We're going to skip loan options for now. We're going to come back to it. House photos. You can put up to 5 photos in your flyer. I recommend just using 1 or 2 because otherwise it will look quite cluttered. Upload house flyers. Upload. Now we're going to select and browse to where we have already saved our photo. There it is. Open and upload now. You'll see the property appear in your photo film strip. Click and drag on it over this section here until you see the little gray rectangle drop photo here. Release your mouse, and there it is. Return to flyer. Headlines. We're going to change this. We'll go back over to our property detail, and we will use, usually we can just use something from the property description. So let's say private street on Kansas Circle. We will save that by clicking Control-C is the universal keyboard shortcut to save something to your clipboard. Back to OSI. We will select all of this and paste what we've already saved using Control-V. Change this a little bit. Private street on Kansas Circle. We've got a subheadline, so we'll go back here and we'll select something from the description. Control-C to copy that, and we will replace that with this, and we'll clean it up a little bit. We can change the typeface if we want. I'm just going to use the default. Apply and continue. Now we go to description and features. We have a choice of using description only or description plus features such as the number of baths, number of bedrooms. I recommend that you use just description only, but use your own judgment there. Click on Edit Descriptions, and you can see that there is a default there. We're going to go back over to our description in Realtor.com. We're going to select all of this. We'll save this using Control-C. Go back to Members. We'll select all of this, and we'll paste what we just saved using Control-V. Now you can see that this somehow decided to be bold. I have no idea why, but it does happen sometimes. So what we're going to do is we're going to change this formatting. The first thing we'll do is we will select all of the text using Control-A. You can see it's all centered. I don't want that. So I will click on this icon. Now it is left justified. I don't want everything bold-faced, so I will click on this B icon and now submit. And you can see how it's beginning to format our flyer as we go along. Now we'll go to referral partner. And the way you have some choices of how to format it. I happen to like side by side with the agent showing up first. You can see that I'm moved over to the right. Now I will select my referral partner. I've already added in the referral partners that I work with, and I select this one by clicking on that icon, and you'll see that my friend Dennison now shows up in the lower part of the flyer. Now we're going to go to loan options, edit or change loans, and we have space for 5 loans. We're going to do just 4 loans, but you can use 5 if you want to put 5 scenarios in. We're going to start with edit this loan. We're going to pick the type of loan from the drop-down. We're going to look for a 30-year fixed with 20% down. We'll select that from the list, and it will calculate all of these things such as the APR and other factors. We're going to change the interest rate, and we'll just use 4.375. And we're not going to have any discount points, but this is where we would add them. Update. We're not dealing with PMI here, but we do want to change our insurance. It's using a very high figure, so I'm going to change that to $75. Click Update. Property taxes are automatically calculated. I've now completed my entering of this loan. So done editing loan. Let's go with the second option. We're going to use let's say a 30-year fixed with 10% down. We'll use the same rate, 4.375, with no points. And with 10% down, we'll have PMI. We'll use a monthly PMI with this, and it's already put in a number that's not what we want. So we're going to change PMI factors for this loan. And I happen to know that the PMI for somebody with a good credit score of 760 or higher is 0.30%. Update. So it's calculated that. We need to change the insurance again. We're going to use $75 a month. And update. I'm done with this loan. For our third choice, let's select FHA. So we're going to scroll up until we find our FHA 30-year fixed. It calculates our down payment at 3.5% automatically. And let's use 3.875 for the interest rate. We're not going to charge any points. We'll update the rate. And notice that it has automatically calculated the MI for this. The upfront premium is 1.75. And because this is a high balance loan, OSI has automatically calculated that the monthly MI is higher than 0.85% that it would be with a lower loan amount. Insurance, we're going to change that again to $75 a month. Update, and we are done with this FHA loan. Finally, let's add, just for the sake of completeness, we'll add a VA loan. So when we click on the box up here, we see that we've got another set of default choices. Click on Edit this loan, and we will find our VA loan. VA 30-year fixed is right here. We'll change our interest rate to 3.875. And no discount points. OSI also gives us the default funding fee percentage of 2.15%. You could change that if you wanted to by clicking on this, and it will give you some choices, but we're just going to leave it at the first time use. We'll change our insurance again, $75, click Update, and we are done editing this loan. We have now entered 4 loans. That's all we're going to have for this flyer, and we are done with financing. We have now completed this flyer. So next we'll save this. I'll save it as a new flyer, and we'll just call it OSI Test Flyer. And click on Save. So now I could reuse that same flyer, edit it, save it as a new flyer. Now we will print, preview, and email. And this is what our flyer looks like. We want to go through this, make sure that there are no horrible typos that the real estate agent made in the description, and just make sure that this flyer is the way you want to have it look. So we've got a choice, and this looks fine to me. We have a choice either of printing directly, sending directly to our printer, or saving as a PDF file, which we can then use to send to the agent, or we can print it out on our own printer. That's the choice that I'm going to make. So I'm going to click on Save PDF, and it will give me a choice to save. I'm going to select that. And it looks as though nothing has happened, but if we look up here, we'll see that we now have our little blue arrow. It'll be different depending on the browser that you choose, but it's just downloaded it. So if I click on this, we can see that we have a new flyer called Your Flyer. And that's all there is to it, to create a flyer. And when you get accustomed to it, it'll take you about 5 minutes to create a nice looking flyer that you can send to your referral partners, or better, take to the open house yourself when you hang out with them for a couple of hours on a Saturday or Sunday. Hope this is helpful, and we'll see you inside the next video.